Hi guys, welcome to Sisters in the City with me, Anna Bikili.
And me, Amanda Bikili.
Why was that so
was
delayed?
Really slow, yeah.
Why was that so delayed?
I'm like in my thoughts right now. Guys, we have a super strong, inspirational woman with us today.
Yes.
And she's giving sexy Flintstone kinky vibes, okay? We might just be Sex in the City.
Yeah,
today.
Sex in the City today.
So we've got Safiyya.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. I love that intro. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
I love the vibe right now. Like, we should start dressing like this.
Yeah, this is how Anna wants me to come to the podcast.
No.
Like, Anna wants me to come really, like, dressed. But when you're doing this fucking every day, you just can't be asked anymore.
Yeah. No, we're always in, like, baggy clothes. I'm so used to wearing tracksuits and it's hot and I don't know what to do.
No, you guys look amazing. I literally walked in and I was like, oh, damn, this is like Kardashian vibes. These girls are flawless.
I'm flattered. You are.
Like,
You're
flawless.
Stunning. But thank you so much for coming on. I met you first at the Sheen event and I remember telling Mandy about how like sweet you were. Like we just clicked straight away.
Yeah, I literally grabbed you. I remember seeing, because like some people always like struggle to actually go up to people. And I always think that like when somebody's doing so well or they're doing incredible things or you just gel and you love what they're doing, I'm the kind of person that will actually go up to you and say, oh my God, I love that, what you're doing. Like, keep it up. Like, it's amazing.
We're like, I'm the same as well. With the amount of times I've gone up to like certain influencers or reality TV stars and they've completely buoyed me off.
Yeah.
Completely, in Anna.
Yeah,
At the
really?
PLT event, I went up to someone, a Love Islander, like, I mean, I have a podcast now, like, put some respect to my name. Anyway, I was like, I went up to them and they were like, and then I'm scarred now.
Yeah.
But I actually met Safiyya as well at the PLT event.
Yeah. So that was the second time we met. And I was
Yeah.
like, we would love you to have you on our podcast.
And we were having like boy gossip over there.
Oh my God, the boy gossip. Oh my God, remember?
There was the guy that wouldn't, was there a guy that was trying on you? I swear.
Who?
Was he not?
No, there was. You were like, oh, I had a thing with that guy in the past. And I was like, which one?
Who?
And then you were like, I can't point him out to you right now. It's obvious. And then basically just forgot about it.
There was something.
Okay, maybe.
Do you not remember? I don't know what I thought it was a guy that was just hitting on her and he wouldn't leave her alone.
No, I think that was what it was.
Yeah, like, pretty
yeah,
sure.
we can't say his name.
Anyway, we're going to go on to love life, right? But first, we want everybody to get to know you.
Yeah. Obviously, when I first came across your profile was when, you know, you were going through that whole Azaylia journey. But I wanted to know whether, you know, were you in the public eye before that or not? Tell us a little bit about your journey and getting in the public eye.
Yeah, so obviously, like, having Azaylia and being in a relationship with Ashley Hughes already in the public eye. So I was just always like happy to be, I was always in the background of being his girlfriend, but we've known each other for like forever. So I never ever looked at him
Like a
in
celeb.
that way. Yeah, like I never looked at him in that way. So for me, it was just his girlfriend.
So
And,
how did it feel like being with him he's in the public eye? Was it like, because I'd be fucking jealous.
So you weren't in the public eye before that?
No.
Oh, I always assumed that
No,
you were.
I always had friends that have been in the public eye or people and just associates, and then you're out. So everybody knows everybody, but obviously now social media is bigger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
How right?
you always know know everybody.
It's the opposite of us though, because before Love Island, me and Mandy didn't know anyone in the public eye.
Yeah,
So it's like quite the opposite.
I remember.
So how did you meet Ashley?
We've known each other since we was like, maybe like 20, well, since I was 21, he was a couple of years younger. Yeah, we live in the same area. So
All right.
yeah, so many people from the Midlands. You've all kind of grown up with each other and you know each other. Or
Yeah.
Oh,
so then
God.
everybody knows each other. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's, and then there's like people that have been
Is
into
it
the
one of those
public eye
faces?
from,
Like you just can't go to the pub without meeting your ex or some shit. Like, they're constantly bumping into everyone.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, does he still live in that area?
Yeah.
No, he needs to move.
No.
He needs to leave the area.
No, literally.
Is he still there? How dare he?
Yeah. No. He was born there. Like we're literally both from the
He
same area.
can't die there. He's born there, but he can't rest in peace there.
No, he can. We've both got a plot together. So yeah, we'll see.
Really?
You sound like
get
me right
along
now.
with him?
Yeah.
You guys are friends?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you guys get into a relationship?
The shock.
Like, how did
I
you?
know.
So you obviously in the same area,
Yeah.
and then were you friends, and then you became
Yeah,
lovers,
so
friends, then lovers.
Yeah, so like it just merged. So like I never ever looked at him in that way. Like, do you know when you're friends with somebody and you've just always known them?
Yeah.
For me, it was never a thing like, oh my God, like I want to get in a relationship with him. We was just friends and we'd all go out together, like his lad mates and the girls. So we'd all go out together
This
and
is
we'd just
why I don't
hang
believe
out.
men and women can't be friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
They're
No.
gonna fuck eventually.
Oh, we did.
Eventually. And they did.
Yeah, and then we just literally became like friends. No, sorry. Then we just ended up merging together,
All
and
of
then
it.
it was just weird.
Merging. So how long were you
Yeah,
guys together? How
merging.
long were you guys like together?
About 5 years.
5 years, a long time.
Yeah, about that.
So did you guys plan on having a baby together? So was it planned?
So Ashley, he always seen wifey in me, I think, and always wanted to have a child from the start, like more or less. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know
really?
when you just know that person, and because you've known each other for so long, it was him that always initiated us having a child together. Whereas usually it's the other way around.
Yeah,
So
a
it
lot
took
of
me a long
people as
time.
well, Safiyya, they don't know, they might not know, like the journey you had with Azaylia. So I want to let you basically tell a little bit of your story and tell our listeners basically that experience.
Because it touched so many people's hearts.
Literally.
That story.
So I had a little girl called Azaylia with Ashley, and after giving birth to Azaylia, she got diagnosed at 8 weeks with AML leukemia, which is an aggressive type of childhood cancer. And at 8 weeks old, I'd gone to the GP several times to explain that there were certain things that didn't seem quite right. But as a new mother, I didn't know what to be looking out for. Like, you know, as a new mom, I'm like, okay, is this what babies do? Like,
you would
know,
never think the worst.
No, absolutely not. So for me, it was, I was getting blood spots in the nappy. I was getting like a swollen tummy. She wasn't able to go to the toilet and like do her nappy. So there was these kind of things where the doctor would then come back to say, oh, give her laxatives, give her this, give her that. Oh, she's maybe because I was breastfeeding, she's not getting enough milk. So then we give her more milk. Oh, now she's got colic. Now she's got this. And I'm thinking as a mum, like, wow, like it's actually, I understand why new mums are like having the hardest time because this isn't easy.
And imagine this is your first time being a mum, and it's way more complicated than what other mums are going through because you're dealing with something that you don't understand, you don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I gone to the GP several times, and this was like COVID as well, COVID times. So then I was emailing the doctors and then telling them what was going on, and they're like, oh, you know, keep an eye on it, you know, this is babies. And then the next minute, I'm just fast forwarding over speaking to the doctors. From 6 weeks to 8 weeks, I've gone to change Azaylia's nappy. And my background is nursing. So I was a dental nurse. So it's like, so that was our background. So I went to change a nappy, and I am like super OCD. I love cleanliness. I love tidy. So my baby is going to be like immaculate.
Okay.
And I've gone to change her nappy. Bearing in mind how quick babies feel nappies and how like over the top I am with making sure she's got a fresh nappy on. I've gone to change her nappy, and she's got a bruise on the top of her groin. So I'm thinking, oh, like, you know, when people are holding babies and always bouncing them, because like she was having colic and all of these kind of things. I was thinking, oh, somebody's held her a little bit tight today and like been bouncing her. So I thought, oh, but what I did is as a new mom, I'm like proud of every moment, even changing your baby's nappy, you're there with a camera. So I've always been involved with like filming and cameras and doing all of that. So I'm like taking a video of Azaylia, and I'm like noticing there was mottling on her skin.
What's mottling?
So it's like when the skin just looks patchy. So like you've got like white areas and then into like normal skin tone areas. So it just looked quite patchy on the skin. And then I thought, oh, that's strange. And then I'd seen the bruise. And then I thought, that's weird. So to my eye, I couldn't actually see it. But then when I put the camera above her, I seen the mottling of the skin, and I thought, that's really strange. So then having like knowledge and understanding like the body, I would then run my finger across the bruise, and then there was a lump underneath the bruise, which then screams alarm bells to me as somebody that understands that's when there's something wrong in the body. So you should never have like a lump under a bruise. So then that was alarm bells to me. And fast forward in time then, we was in A&E. And when the professionals sat myself and Ashley down, they then basically explained that Azaylia has got a aggressive type of leukemia and we need to instantly go to Birmingham Children's Hospital.
Oh God, I can't even imagine that moment.
We got catapulted in. I remember just wearing the same clothes for like 3 days. Then we was both in intensive care. She had to have a treatment straight away where she had to have a central line put in her chest so then she could be administered all the medications that she needed. And obviously she's only 8 weeks old. So at that point, you're just going into survival mode. And because I've got background of medical anyway, and like I used to work with patients that had was sedated and things like that, I'm aware. So it was really bizarre now at this point. Now I'm like digging in and I have Ashley with me and it's like, what are we doing? Like, what the hell is going on?
So I can't even imagine that moment, when you're told that. But you're like, you literally straight away go into survival
I just went in, it was like an instant, you're either going to sink or swim. For me, when scenarios happen to me, I don't look for the problem when a problem's happening. I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
So instantly, it was just like, right, I've got all of these medics around me. Azaylia's just in her little cot thing that they've got in the hospitals, and they're all trying to take blood from her. So I'm now covering Azaylia's face. As a mother, my mother instinct turns in and I'm like playing with her so she can see my face. Or when they're taking the injections from her, I'm like literally like pinching her wrist because I know she's going to feel that and she's not going to feel that. So it was just it was like nurse mom turned in.
You're thinking about her, obviously, the first. So, I mean, can I just say as well, Azaylia, what a beautiful name.
I know.
And like, I actually love her name.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I was on your Instagram last night. I always do this if I have a guest, I go on their Instagram and start doing stalker mode. And I was in tears on just watching her videos. Like, she's the most beautiful little girl. Honestly, you should be.
I'm gonna cry.
Honestly, she's so beautiful and just so cute. And you can see even in her, the strength in her, that she's just, trying to play or trying to like laugh, even though she's going through everything that she's going through. So how long was her journey of trying to fight cancer?
So her journey was from 8 weeks until she was 8 months old. We had to go through doing a full-on plea for a bone marrow transplant for her. Because of her background and her ethnic background, there wasn't enough people on the bone marrow register. So we did a plea, and in 1 weekend, she got over 80,000 people on the bone marrow register. She's one of the top, she is the top person
that's
ever got that many people on the register in 1 weekend. And it's like incredible because that is when, for me, I was just being a mom and just videoing my daughter. So even though we was in hospital, I was just
making memories.
Yeah, I was just doing, like, if the people get to go and go to the park with their children, this is what I had. So this is all I did in front of me. And then obviously people started picking up. And then when we was doing the pleas for her, and then it became apparent because I wasn't in Ashley's Instagram where it was like, oh, this is my girlfriend. He wasn't like tagging me left, right and centre. Do you know what I mean? We was like, we had a very like
a bit of a private
relationship. So it was kind of like that. So when that happened and we then started putting the plea out, then obviously a lot more people started to think, oh, that's the mum. But to watch Azaylia capture everybody's heart, it was like, for me, it was just so incredible that there is social media out there and it can absolutely catapult and help to save people's lives.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you were obviously sort of in the public eye because of Ashley, but that whole traumatic experience really made you guys viral. Like, it was like the whole world was almost like crying and going through the pain with you. But how was that? Did you feel like going through such a traumatic experience in the public eye, do you think that was like beneficial? Did it help you? What was the pros? What was the cons?
Yeah.
Like, was there more pros than cons?
Yeah. So obviously I wasn't, I've been there and been in the background and see kind of like what goes on or whatever like that. Or you hear of like trolls and crazy stuff like that. So it's like, it was a thing where it was kind of like, it just kept building, like my following kept building because people were like really invested.
Yeah.
But I actually got to experience, and I'm so blessed, the beauty of humanity, which we don't really get to see very often. So for me, I'm always so grateful that I have an audience and a following now that are real, genuine, good people. And it was strange because my following has actually helped me. It helped to save my daughter's life. So for me, I respect my following with great intensity. Like, I feel like my following is family because you guys held my hand. And even as a new mom, when I was in hospital, I was getting so many people messaging me saying, oh, why don't you try this? This would be good for her. So sometimes I'd like, she'd be teething or her gums would be hurting. And because I do videos, moms out there would notice, oh, she's at teething stage. Then actually message me, babe, like, I'm going to send you this to the hospital, put some fruit in it, and she'll really enjoy it. So then people were sending me things, helping me out as a mom.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciative of that. And as soon as like Azaylia would have it, she would literally be like gnawing on it and loving it. So it's like, it's actually been like so beautiful. And the fact that she's been able to help so many other people by saving people's life. Over 80,000 people on the bone marrow register. I was in Selfridges shopping not long ago and I was in Skims and the girl ran up to me, young girl, probably 21, 22 maybe.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, I had a phone call the other day to say I'm a match to somebody. So now she is a potential match to save somebody else's
I've
life.
got goosebumps. Oh no.
So, you know, the fact that social media for me, you know, I've obviously came and got a profile through a completely different avenue to what people would do. But I see my profile as it's helped save so many people's lives. And it's still continuing to share awareness through the mental battles I was going through. Because there's so many moms and dads out there that are still out there now that feel so alone. And I was in lockdown. So it was just me and Azaylia in the room. So although my following was growing and it was so big, I still felt alone or empty. And I had all of this, but I felt like I had a cushion of a community that was helping me left, right and center.
Do you feel like they were helping you heal as well? Like get through the grieving process as well?
So through Azaylia's journey when she was here with us, they helped me, they gave me like a backbone to be like, right, come on, you can do this. And then when I seen the plea going out for the donors that we needed, I seen humanity and I was like, wow, like this is phenomenal. Do you know, like she's going to make it. Look at us. Like we've got the whole army. We've got incredible people behind us. And then obviously when it went to the stages of where there was no more treatment for us. Well, no, there was treatment, but the treatment was available in Singapore. So we got told that there was no more help in the hospital in the UK, but we had an incredible woman like Olivia. She's incredible. She literally, her son went through the same and they told her that there was nothing that they could do for him. And she got treatment out in Singapore. So she actually came forward because of social media and reached out to me. And she was my last source of like energy. She helped myself and Ashley so much. And then she put us in contact with the surgeon that helped save her son's life, and he's still here today. And then we did all of the infrastructure, all the logistic stuff. Then we had to get treatment in Singapore. But so obviously it was locked down. Everybody was like fully locked in with Azaylia. And she needed treatment, and like some of these treatments that are starting at £500,000, I mean, it's like absolutely horrific because the medical fees, obviously you're in the medical industry, you know how expensive medicine is. So this isn't just medicine, this is trying to get a poorly child from the UK
£500,000.
Yeah.
That's like...
So like some of these are starting things because then we need like potential, do you know, like the ins and outs of everything. What she needs to have was just so sky high that it was just like mind blowing. So then we did a GoFundMe. So within 3 hours, Azaylia had got over £1 million in 3 hours. Yeah, so she reached
That's
over 1 million.
amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely feel the like impact of humanity.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
empathy through social media.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing as well. Do you know, for me, I always like was happy to take a back seat. I wasn't like, even though I was with Ashley, I never cared to, be with me. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't bothered about any of that. But when I seen the power of humanity and what you can create in a beautiful way to help so many people out there, that's when I
fell in love with social media in a way.
Yeah, I fell in love with it.
And you had almost a good experience with, your social media.
I just have horny men and trolls following me. Literally. Who's tagging me in some stories so I can get some genuine followers.
Yeah. But it's like that's for me, do you know, like, and through Azaylia's journey. And then obviously we got to a point where we couldn't save Azaylia because blood cancer can spike within a second. And then we got sent home of end of life. And then even at that point...
So did you go to Singapore?
No, we couldn't go to Singapore. No. So this is what happened. So then we had the GoFundMe that was there. And then we got told, I think it was like a week later, we had all the results back because the bloods had to get sent over to Singapore. They had to agree everything. And that's when, after that, that's when we put out that we needed to go. So we did all the work first. And then because blood cancer is so aggressive, it was just overtaking everything.
So they basically told you that
they came back to say, like, there's no point in flying out here.
I saw something on your Instagram about, I think it's a charity that if, GPs are more educated on early diagnosis, it could save so many lives.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that something that could have happened for Azaylia if those times, you went to the GP? I don't know anything about this, but I was just wondering.
So like obviously that's what, if I say, okay, so we're at a point where we've got the money and we've got the GoFundMe, and then obviously Azaylia passed away. And that's when so many people had come together as well. People were flying aeroplanes above our house with big love hearts in the sky and the big A's. And like, this is why even on Azaylia's day, the whole streets from my house to a cut-off point were filled with people singing Ooby-Doo because she loved the Jungle Book, Ooby-Doo, and they was playing the Lion King. People had balloons. Like, I mean, there wasn't a space in between the next person from, I'm talking probably 3-4 miles of people from Scotland, Edinburgh, from one side of the country to the other, came together and collectively come to Azaylia's last journey. So at that point, obviously, it's really, really, as much as it touched my heart and it was so beautiful, I was broken. I was a complete mess. Yeah. Then myself and Ashley come to, we was on the go. Our heads were constantly on the go, thinking of what treatment, what's this, what's that. And, then to have nothing, it was just like a full empty, like you didn't want to be here anymore. As a parent, you couldn't ever imagine, I feel choked, not to have your child.
It's the worst thing that as a parent, as a couple, you could go through.
Absolutely.
The worst thing.
So for us, it was then we had all of the GoFundMe money that was there, and we left it open for ages for people to actually take their money back if they wanted. And then it was to a point where it was like, right, we need to set up a charity. We need to help people back. We gone through this whole journey of everybody supporting us, being there for us and Azaylia, and like, we have to give back. So as much as you take, now it's time, these people are still fighting. These children are still fighting. Like the journey's not finished and it's not stopped because Azaylia is now in heaven. Like, these children and these families need support. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a charity. So we created the Azaylia Foundation to obviously continue Azaylia's name and her legacy and everything she stood for. But at the same time, now we need to look into helping all of these other children and families. So now it goes into what you was just literally speaking about then, is GPs. People don't have, the government haven't got, there's been no change basically since the 1970s in childhood cancer.
That's what I saw on your Instagram.
And it's the biggest killer of children in the UK.
What's really interesting is when I think about cancer, I think like adults. I think breast cancer, I think lung cancer, I think smoking. Like, I don't ever think about cancer in children. It's like something that was unheard of before Azaylia.
Yeah.
I never even knew it was a common thing.
It's not spoken about enough.
No, it's not.
And I think that's where then me sharing my journey has helped so many other people, because as much as it's there and people are like, oh, we know about it, until Azaylia's journey, so many people didn't know. So like, it's the biggest killer of children in the UK, and it receives less than 3% of funding from our government institutions.
Why?
So less than 3% means
insane.
GPs are not getting the education that they need, because if you look at it, they haven't got the funding. So how are they going to get the education? 97% is going into adults' cancer. Less than 3% is into children's.
How?
Whereas
Why? Yeah.
Because they consider it to be rare. So while it's being considered to be rare, the funding's not in there. So that means when people leave in university, what's happening then is they're going into where the funding is. They're not going to go and choose an area where there's no funding, because they're not going to get a career. So now what we've done with the Azaylia Foundation is we have created the Azaylia PhD. So we have funded now 5. Our aim is 20 in 5 years. So now we've got people on our program that's now getting the chance to be able to fulfill their dreams of going down the educational route of PhDs within childhood cancer.
That's amazing.
That is so.
I feel like helping people as well must have helped you kind of heal your brokenness in a way as well, because like that's what they say psychologically, like if you want to heal, you just help people and heal other people as well. So right now there's a lot of tragedy going on as well. Just recently, I know you probably heard about the Southport kind of like news.
Oh, horrific.
And like honestly, my heart like broke, for like the families. Like loss is still lost. Maybe it's different circumstances, but like they have to go through that grieving process. Like, and do you think you can like give advice, or what do you think helped you? Was it like support family and friends? Was it, sharing your story, documenting it? Like what helped you go through grief?
Like what advice would you give?
Yeah, it's a really strange thing, because people ask me this all the time, and I always say, like, for me, it's been in them dark times where I try and figure it all out. And for me, speaking, like literally speaking, I speak on my Instagram, I do TikTok lives. There's so many people that are in so much grief or depression. It could be relationship breakups. It could be so many different areas where people are feeling grief, depression, all of these things. And when I'm speaking about it, I'm like teaching people there is light after trauma, after grief, and you just have to find a purpose within you. For me, mine's the Azaylia Foundation. Like that helps me. That's my heartbeat. That's like my daughter and how I bring my daughter up now. So that's why I put everything into Azaylia's Foundation. But for people out there that are really suffering, some people go introvert, and that's okay. Just knowing that there isn't no right or no wrong to grieve is the best advice you can give anybody, because people always say, even like myself and Ashley, we both grieve in different ways. Yeah. And it doesn't mean the way he grieves is wrong. It just means that we grieve differently until you're in them shoes and you truly feel them feelings through every cell in your body. You just have to learn how to show up for yourself and continue. But there's a reason why God places certain things in your life. And for me, I see my purpose now. It's through my daughter, through her legacy, and to understand that I am Earth's light.
Yeah. And,
to give people hope.
Saving so many lives. And helping so many parents or people get through these things. It's amazing.
Like, mentally. I think, imagine all these people who are introverted and going through something terrible, but seeing you speak about it, they don't feel alone anymore. Yeah. But you were saying like you and Ashley grieved in different ways. Like, I've seen so many documentaries. Like I'm a bit of a documentary obsessed person, and every time I watch a documentary where a couple loses a child, every time I've seen this documentary, it breaks up the couple. Like, I really want to know, how does it affect the romantic relationship? Like, does it have an actual breaking effect?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, and it's really strange when I hear it out loud as well, because for me, it was like I was in hospital and so was Ashley, and we was in lockdown. So we co-parented Azaylia for a solid 6 months. So we wasn't together.
Oh, wow.
So we was just keep swapping because we wasn't allowed in the room at the same time because of COVID restrictions.
Oh my God, how so we was so hard.
No, it was really hard. He would do time in there and then come back, and then I would do my time in there, come back. So we could just literally eat and sleep. And then once the other ones eat and slept, then we go back.
Imagine
so we just keep
going
changing
through that, and you can't even be together with your daughter.
Yeah. So I think I think a lot of that has a big part to play. But I think as well, like for me, I don't know. I genuinely can't give an answer to it because I genuinely don't know. And because of the way we both grieve differently, I'm like, I need you kind of person. And
I feel like as women, we are more like that.
Women are like that. And like for me, it's like you need that person to like be there and be present. Yeah. And I don't know and still never know until like, I don't ever know what and how he grieves and how he sees things through his eyes.
Yeah.
But the maturity of it all is we all grieve differently.
Yeah.
And there isn't no right and no wrong. And if you can't attend to, when you're in that much pain and you're seeing somebody in that much pain, you're either a person that it's scary and you feel like you need to run a million miles, or are you a person that needs to be so close? I genuinely don't know. And to hear constantly that grief is something that splits people.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know how it does because that's the kind of person that I am.
I'm the same. I feel like I can. Well,
I'm like a ride or die. I'm a ride or die girl. Like I'm
for me, I feel like if I ever went something really anything terrible like in my life, I would want to share my pain with my partner, and hopefully it will bring us closer and make us like more connected because we've both gone through a really horrible experience. Like who else can relate to me now apart from you? But from my experience of just men in general, most of the time men seem to like want to detach and block out pain and run away from it.
And I see that so much now.
Men just like
it's like a reminder.
They don't want to be reminded of trauma. They want to forget. Whereas we want to
I think that's what
delve
it is,
in and dive. And like,
I'm not saying that's the case for Ashley, but like in most cases, I think.
But I think that's like hearing so many men speak about like their journeys and grief and after they've lost a child, I usually kind of get into it because maybe I'm just trying to figure out the male's mind of like, guys, what is it that you need or whatever? Because I'm a provider as well. Do you know, like I'm a nurturer. And I'm like, when you hear so many men say the same things, it's a really interesting thing.
What do they say?
Is it the fact that the pain and watching their partner being in so much pain makes them feel a certain way? I don't know. Like some people say that.
I think as a man, you're almost like you've got that protecting masculine energy.
And it hurts too much
and they
for
feel
them.
helpless. Like what can they do in that situation?
The burden is too heavy. Like they can't rescue you from that pain.
Yeah.
So it's just too much of a challenge.
Yeah, and I still never know to this day, but I don't pick at it either because I feel like when you're in that much pain, I don't think it's a right thing. It's like
100%.
Me and him, because we still lived together after as well for a couple of years.
So how long were you together after?
I think maybe like a year and a half.
You were in a relationship?
No, like
living.
No, we split up like. Oh my gosh, it's the maths. I don't know. I actually don't know. I can't remember now.
After Azaylia's
Azaylia. Yeah, we was together for a little while after.
Okay.
And then I can't remember. Maybe like a year. A year?
About a year.
Yeah,
so
maybe, yeah.
We've actually got your sort of sister-in-law. So
my ex-sister-in-law.
brother's wife
in the room. And she's Iranian as well.
Persian.
Yeah.
So you're still really close. So do you get all the tea? Like, what's that gonna fuck up to now?
No. Do you know what? Do you know why we remain so close? It's because we don't even do that. I don't want to know.
Good.
I don't want to know. That keeps a healthy relationship between me and her.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't ask questions because I could find out online within a second, or my followers just send me messages.
I don't know. I kind of stalked his Instagram yesterday as well, and I couldn't see any sign of a woman. Like I couldn't see the woman. I don't know if you. Oh, do you know? I don't know.
Why has he got?
Is she the family guy? Like I'm so not.
You're so hilarious.
Does he have a girl?
Okay, I mean, he's got a baby.
I mean, like this is the first time we're having this conversation. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, you're getting the tea on the chair.
The tea.
Yeah, and obviously his sister-in-law's in the room as well.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, I don't.
Girl code, all right? Girl code.
Girl code. We're just here. No, so basically, obviously, you know, and this is like public knowledge as well. Do you know, like he came to me and told me that he was going to be a father again, which was really painful. Like we both was like really upset. You know, like absolutely broken. For me, it was more of a case that I said to him, like, can you be, like, are you guys together? Like, are you in a relationship? And he said no. And I said, could you? Like, you know, like, I know what he wants deep down, you know, like, I have so much love still inside my heart for him. And I just would love to see him, you know, with a family, because I know that's what he wanted when he wanted a family with me. So do you know when you know he's
you're an amazing person, aren't
Thank
you?
you.
Yeah, I need to be a bit more like you.
So and he didn't want to be in a relationship, which is completely fine. Like he didn't want that. So you
with
know
that woman.
Yeah, and I don't know whether he's in a relationship now or
with someone else or not. Okay, but
so
the woman that's his baby mum he didn't want to be with. Do you know who? Do we know? Is she in the public eye?
Well, no, she's not in the public eye,
Okay.
and obviously, like, it's not for me to comment on.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
sure,
But
of course.
you know, like, I just think that so many people, after you know Ashley shared his news, like their hearts, literally as women, came to me in full effect. You know, like everybody was absolutely heartbroken. But like for me, he's great. Like he's an amazing dad to his child, and that's the main thing for me. Do you know, like every child deserves to have love and their parent present in their life. So for me, I always think like, you know, there's lots of dads out there that don't step up. So like for him, and to see him doing that, even though it absolutely shatters.
I know you.
Inside,
I can almost imagine like how it would feel for you, and it's like it's such a weird feeling because you're obviously happy that you know he's got a child and there's a baby being born, but like at the same time, it's kind of like
makes your grief more isolated.
It's such a weird.
Suddenly, I can imagine feeling suddenly like, okay, well, I'm on my own now.
Yeah,
like
literally, that's how it felt.
You've started your new chapter, whereas I'm still living in that chapter of grief, and I feel isolated.
Yeah. So that part is like a really, really surreal feeling because all of his family was like, and me were really, really, really close. And that obviously then comes into the point where you're not only grieving your partner that you're not with anymore, you're grieving the family because we were so tight and everything that we'd just all gone through. So it was kind of like really difficult, I think, for like both parts. I mean, like we still
Why
speak.
Did you speak up?
I mean, like, maybe you should get Ashley on your podcast.
Yeah, I want to get him on the podcast.
I want you guys to be together.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is what it is, right? You make your bed, you go and lie in it. For me, there would never be any revisit of anything.
Oh, why does he want to revisit?
No.
Has he tried to revisit
just because people ask me, they will say like, oh, do you think that you guys could ever like, but now because I could never, do you know what I mean? And like, I respect his situation as well, you know.
Is there any like, I feel like there's suddenly this little chemistry still there.
I mean, there always will be. Yeah, and that's the thing. I
thought it needs one group of friends to go out on a drunken night. All right?
Absolutely not.
You never know. Sometimes maybe the time apart makes people like, you know.
And I think that's what it is sometimes. I think that's where people had so much hope and like love and like was rooting for us.
Yeah.
You know, until that point, you know, where he came to me and told me he was having another child. So
because after that, I get what you mean. After that, there's no revisiting.
Yeah, there's no revisiting.
How it's just going to be too traumatic for you.
Too painful now. Okay, look.
Forget Ashley. There's plenty other men out there.
There's plenty other men out. Are there? Okay, anyway,
I don't know about that part because
there's plenty other men, but are they any good?
First of all, before we move on to like, you know, I want us to chat about gossip, boys, love life.
Everybody's
I want to say that honestly, I think everyone admires like your perseverance, your resilience.
Yeah.
And you just have this, you know, this energy, fighter in you, you know, and even though you went through something traumatic, it doesn't completely define you. A part of you died, but you still have the rest of you. Like you're still you and you still have so much more to look forward to. So much amazing things are going to happen in your life. And I think that's why people as well fall even more in love with you because they see how you're overcoming these traumas and you're not letting it, like, life defeat you.
And you're always so open about it as well. I love how you sometimes even say, like, I feel guilty enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, you talk about all your feelings, and I that's what I admire and love about you. So
because I'm sure baby Azaylia as well wants her mum to live her best life ever.
Yeah, she's rooting for me out there.
Anyway, we are now going to talk about boy stuff, all right? I want to know, what's your type?
Okay. Oh,
all
God.
Right? Don't tell me big, muscly, that's Ashley. Okay? I want to hear the opposite now.
I know, it's so crazy, isn't it? Because it's like, my type, it's crazy as well. I am like, you know, when you feel nervous, I feel like I'm on the stage now in my mic, like, okay, I'm 5'2", so I'm small, right?
Yeah.
I like 6 foot plus.
Hey, these are 6 foot guys for us huge girls.
I know. So many girls say, like, can you girls, you short girls, stop this? Like, can you stop this phase? Because there's tall girls need like tall guys. But I just love it. And tall ethnic background. I like somebody with spice. Like, so any kind of background.
Any mix.
Yeah, any mix. Yeah, I like background. I like a bit of spice.
Yeah.
I like some
culture.
nice Greek man, maybe.
Yeah. I like culture. I like somebody with culture.
I was like, what's culture?
Culture.
Culture. Yeah.
Culture.
Culture. The rapper.
Yeah, I thought she said couture. That was your accent. I love it.
I like tattoos, but you don't need to have tattoos.
Really? I don't like tattoos.
I don't really mind.
Like on men, when they have the whole sleeve, like, I'm not feeling it.
I never used to like tattoos at all. I never used to like it. I used to like just literally a baby face, a cute face, and like clean body without no tattoos, and like athletic. I like an athletic
You know
type.
why I can't step foot in the gym? Me
And
too.
I like athletic because they're not out drinking all the time.
Good sign.
So it's like, it's a green flag.
I don't know. Some gym guys be doing the most.
Yeah, but that's gym guys. I like an athlete. I want an athlete.
Oh, she was an actual athlete.
So that's my type.
You know
like
what?
an
You're
athlete.
right. Yeah.
But not
So my boyfriend's sister, she's married to a boxer, yeah?
Yeah.
And he doesn't go out, doesn't drink, doesn't nothing, he doesn't do anything, he stays at home. That's what I want.
Yeah, doesn't leave the house.
Yeah. He just wants to get up and train and have good food.
Yeah.
Like,
But you're not going to
I
get
cook
bored
really well.
of
No,
that.
I love that. Like, I love that because you know what it is? They take care of their job is their like discipline. Then they take care of themselves so they look good. And then they're also got a their personality as well needs to be something. Do you know what I mean? You need to have something about you.
As well, I think if you can control what you put in your mouth, you can control where you put your dick as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's discipline.
You have self-control.
Have discipline.
Discipline.
Exactly. Man who can't control, he's like smoking and then drink drugs and drinking and
yeah. Oh my God, no.
Fat. Like, what else do you not control? Do you know what I mean? I wish we getting
But do you feel like, because like, for example, my boyfriend, he goes to the gym every day, like for a few hours. I feel so much pressure on me. Yeah. I don't go gym and I feel like shit, basically.
I mean, sometimes I feel like that helps me. That gives me motivation as well. Do you know when someone's in the house and they want to eat clean? Like me and Ashley, we literally had like the best thing. We'd go out food shopping together and we'd like fill the fridge with clean food and we'd go and train. So actually it helps me because it's like that clean way of living actually makes you healthier as a person. But I can understand what you mean as well, that pressure of just feeling like...
I mean, I wish I could say I feel motivated or anything. Because
I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, why are you not like skinny, bro? Like,
you were amazing. Like,
I mean,
I see your holiday pictures just and like, girl, you look amazing.
Like, I said some gym, like me, I have a defense. Me and my boyfriend are fat together. Like we both getting fat together. We both go fat. No, you're fat.
I'm just doing it on my own here. Okay, so are you dating anyone now?
No, so I find it really difficult, right? People always say to me, so like my friends will always say like, you get to go to like a most amazing events and, you know, like, I'm so appreciative of that as well because obviously, you know, I didn't have a following before and I do now, obviously because of everything that I've gone through. But I really like take it wholesomely, do you know, and I appreciate like working with certain brands and having that opportunity to be able to work with these brands and be in a position as well where I can actually like put so much time into the Azaylia Foundation and then have this kind of life as well. So it's like, I really appreciate it as well. And I think that's why I always stay as me because it doesn't matter where I am, what's going on, I'm always me. So it doesn't, do you know what I mean? Some people change because of having more followers or, you know, getting different brand deals or this kind of things. And I actually appreciate that brands actually look at me and think, you know what, she's a good person with good credibility. She's there for people. She's not fake. She's real.
Yeah.
So like,
what about men? Do they look at you like that now?
This is what I'm getting onto.
They might be like, oh, she's got a high following. You know, they're like.
So this is where, so all of this and obviously being and everything that I've gone to, a lot of guys will know me because of that.
Yeah.
And I've Ashley and us being in a relationship together. So at the start, it was like, I was never looking for anybody. I'm trying to like find myself. Yeah. And then it comes to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm starting to look at guys again. And I'm like, oh, he's good looking. But then I feel like I can't step to them.
Why?
Like,
why do you? What do you?
I literally feel like it
what
makes
do you
me feel.
Step to them though?
Like
how they need to be stepped to you.
Exactly. Yeah, no. But I mean, like, as in, I don't. Do you know, like guys that I speak to that now I know that have liked me for a little while? They will say to me that like, I've liked you for a while, but I didn't know your circumstances, and like I didn't want to be inappropriate by like moving to you because I just didn't know where you were in your journey of where you're healing and taking care of yourself because I'm like watching certain things that you're doing and I'm like, bro, I'm single. Yeah. But even like when I was out in Marbella, like they were literally just not long come back from Marbella for bank holiday weekend and there was like guys there telling me that they would take me on a date back here because they want to like treat me well. So that part I respect quite a lot because I think that actually maybe they're looking and thinking, okay, she's maybe wifey type, whereas they just want to play. Yeah, they want play, they want fun.
But you also want to play. Sometimes you also want to have fun. What are you feeling right now? Well, why feel Johnny want playful?
I
don't think it's giving me playful.
Yeah, I mean, like we're in playgirl era right now, so yeah, don't get it twisted. No, so I actually feel like I need to see what's out there. Do you know you need to find your flavor?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you know, you're single. Like one guy might come up to you and you're like, nah, he's a side. Do you know what I mean? He's to play with.
There's too many sides. Yeah. But do you know what I'm pulling like, so much now? Do you know what? When I'm going out, the age caliber, like honestly, this girl is like, when I say to him, like, I look at them and I think that, oh, you look about maybe 30 or something. Yeah. Then they're like, oh, I'm 24 or I'm 26.
My God. How old are you?
I'm 36.
It's okay, so you kind of go basically similar to us.
Yeah. But these young guys, I swear to God, they are hanging off my feet and my arms, and and it's like it's wild.
Good, do your finger.
And but I say to them, I'm like,
men like apparently,
they love it.
Yeah, but no, not only that though. I do think like our generation of like girls in our 30s, we look really young, and then the girls, I feel bad saying it, but a lot of girls in their 20s that nowadays look a lot older, and I don't know what's going on, or whether it's because they started Botox really early, like we didn't know about these things, we didn't have like Instagram back then, you know, I don't know.
Social media stress.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what it is?
I have no idea.
But I think that it's a weird thing because I'll ask them the same. It's like they'll say like, oh, I can be any age that you want me to be. These same lines that are coming out. I'm like, how old are you? They'll ask me and I never care to say my age. And they're like, I'm like 32 and I'm laughing. I'm like, okay. Then they're like 26 and they're like, yeah, like we need somebody that's older than us. We like a mature woman. These girls at our age at the minute are like so like pristine and want to be so prim and proper that you girls are just like women. You know what you want. And I'm
but you know what? Someone calls me like a woman. Like, you know, when I first started dating Kazakh, he was like, he always said, what a woman. And then I just don't know what about that. It always made me feel like
cringe.
So old.
It's giving me cringe.
What a woman. I don't
Do you know what it is? I think like young girls, because they don't have experience like emotionally, like I don't think it's as much of a turn on because they're like
not
like,
all young girls
straight away they want to be like, you know,
no, because we weren't like that. I don't think all young girls. Do you not remember us in our 20s? We were like,
oh man. I don't know. Look, I want to just take it anyway. Men like old women, okay?
Just makes us feel better.
Yeah, and then that's the wildest thing because now I'm at this point as well where I've like really had to like evaluate, okay, could I handle somebody with a child as well through the trauma I've gone through? These are questions I'm asking myself. And right now, it could change and I'm open to anything. Yeah. But right now, I couldn't have a guy that has a baby mom.
So glad you said that. I don't blame you though.
And I tell you what the reason why, there's 2 reasons. And I came to it the other day when I was just chit-chatting on my TikTok live. And that was because there was a guy on there, he's a good looking guy. And he was like, just like flirting and having banter. And he was like, oh, what do you think of me? Do you know, like these kind of things. I'm like, there's a reason why I wouldn't date a guy like you. And that is because you have children, and children are a big trigger point for me. But not only that, is what about if I fall in love with you? I then fall in love with your children because I'm a nurturing person. And then what happens when we split up? I'm now not going to be able to see you, which I'd get over, but it's then the children and that bond I've created.
Honestly, you are an incredible person. I thought you were going to turn around and be like, well, I ain't having no other woman's child around me. Like, I ain't sharing your affection with some other woman's children. Like, that's the vibe I was on. And then you were like, I'm going to fall in love with the children. She's so nice. I'm such a bad person.
No. Don't get it twisted. That is them elements as well. Do you know, where I don't think, I watch like so many people that I know co-parent and do all of this. And I'm like, I take my hat off, because that shit must be so hard, because I don't think I could have somebody dictate when I go there with my man at that weekend, or my man not being present. I need a guy that's going to be emotionally present with me and want to build together. Like for me, I don't want to just have, if I'm ever to have another child again, just to have a child with anybody. And I don't want to be in a dynamic, right? And that's for me, I've got 100 trigger points. So if I really like a guy and then he's got a child that's 2, and we're now going to have to go and do them holidays together. So in my head, I'm going to be like, I should be here. But if I had Azaylia here with me, I would be able to do it because I've got my child with me. So I
totally
think,
understandable.
And that's the part, you know, as a grieving mom.
I've not even gone through what you've gone through, and I wouldn't want to be with a man that's got a child, because I just want to experience having a child, you know,
the first time together.
We both having that first time experience together.
And imagine he's texting his baby mama, I'm going to come pick up the kids. What if she's sucking your dick as soon as you go pick up the kids? Or what if something's going on there? I don't trust.
That's another thing as well. Like, cause I always think that, like, what happens? Do you know, like, what about if you guys want to rekindle, or it's like he's changed and now she's like, I can see that you've changed. Like, come back to me. Here's our home, and we can live happily ever after.
And like, a child is like a bond between 2 people, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like him having a bond with another woman.
No, we had that swinger couple on Mandy 2 weeks ago, and like that man took on that woman with 2 children.
Yeah, I rate that.
Also swinging.
But I rate that because my stepdad, he took me and my brother on with my mom, and she was obviously like, she was single with 2 children. And like, I've got an amazing stepdad. Do you know what I mean?
So it's just there are some amazing men out there.
There is some amazing men out there.
We need some good men stories, you know?
Yeah, we need.
Honestly, I actually heard a few recently. It's making me feel better. A friend of mine, she was saying how her brothers are the most incredible brothers, and like the way they love their wives, and really good positive male stories.
I need that.
Over here, it's a bit of a male bashing thing that we
Yeah. But do you know, when I see men, like my brother's an amazing guy as well. Like, yeah, he's incredible. And like, when I see good men, it's so difficult, because I'm like, all I want to do, I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be in a club and have to go to these places and have to try and find a guy and go and do all of that. I just want one guy, live my life. I'm like proper housewifey as well. Like, I love cooking. I love my house to be like immaculate. I'm so organised.
She's proper wifey.
That I'm like, so I just want to like chill and be like that, and like not have somebody that's like
our age to meet someone new, because like we don't really want to go to the club. Like, don't get it twisted, me and Mandy do end up in the club still.
Yeah,
but
I love the club.
we do love the club.
Like, doesn't want to.
You don't want to have to go and find someone in the club.
Yeah.
And like, where do you really meet people? It's hard.
We're at this point now, right? We're on TikTok lives at the minute, and it's so funny because we literally had about 1,500 people on live the other day, everybody talking to us about where they find men.
Tell me where.
People are saying in supermarkets when you're doing your food shopping.
I mean, that's never happened.
Yeah, and they're saying in the gym.
Supermarket?
Yeah, in the gym.
In the gym, I think. If I've heard,
yeah,
gym.
because these guys that are busy are working because they're like structured on like their work path. Then they're training, and then they're going to pick up some food.
or you could go to the city, you know, where all them financy guys are.
Yeah, they've probably got wives.
They
got wives.
Do you think? Yeah.
I think most people in their late 30s have wives though.
No, but they do like
some 50-year-old divorcee. I'm in a relationship. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think at our age it's hard because they either settle down already or if they're.
Where would you find somebody?
Where would you think? I mean, we've that Whole Foods. I need a rich man.
Yeah, getting the organic stuff. Yeah,
like Waitrose is the lowest I'm going. I'm not meeting someone in Tesco's or Asda.
Mandy, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Whole Foods. You know where the egg is like this? God knows where they got that egg from.
Egging,
The eggs are egging.
Yeah, the eggs are egging.
So I don't know where to find anybody because like people always say to me, "Oh, you're really lucky because you've got access to this side of the industry." So when we've got access to this side of the industry, like,
I don't think that helps.
It's lonely out here. It's worse.
Way worse.
Men used to be sliding in the DMs all the time before I don't want to Love Island.
Yeah.
As soon as you got on Love Island, you ruined my life.
But it's like, why? Like, when you see them,
they're intimidated, I think. They see your high following and they probably think, like, she were not even going to see my DM.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. But, I mean, we're putting something out there now, okay? She wants over 6 foot, you know, cultured man that's
spicy.
Preferably in his 30s.
Yeah.
Or do you want, what about 40s? Or is that too old?
I don't mind if he hasn't got the bag.
Yeah. All the 40s. No baggage. Yeah, we can't be handling baggage. A good man that's ready to settle down.
Yeah, work, gym, supermarket.
Yes.
That's it. Right? An athlete, okay?
It's basically so nice having you on.
So nice.
Thank you so much.
We loved having you on. Thank you for sharing your story of everyone.
Yeah.
It's just in the sea.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are the best, and these two look absolutely stunning in real life.
I love you.
Love you, loads.
Love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.